Good afternoon, and welcome to another flabbergasting episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your flummoxed and flustered and somewhat flaccid host, Voice of Doom. My sound effects are getting better. Alright. I was going to start with a song, but I won't, because it's not a time to be frivolous. It's a time for reflection and fear. So it is Friday. I think the DJI is bouncing back. So I think they've factored in World War III into their figurings with the investors. Still a good investment. Blitzkrieg, I looked it up because I said it's 1939 and I didn't expect a Blitzkrieg right away, but we're getting a Blitzkrieg. And Schicklgruber didn't even like the term Blitzkrieg, and it seems like it's right up his alley. Storm, lightning, war, lightning war. Blitz is lightning, Blitzen and Vixen. But it was used for propaganda purposes to make it sound like the Germans were superhero warriors. And things happened fast. Poland, September 1st, 1939, attacked. After a non-aggression pact was signed 1 week afterwards, Ribbentrop and Molotov got together to have a very uneasy truce and planned out the dissection of Poland. Okay, attack September 1st. Germans, north, west, south. It's a pincer, whatever, tactic. It wasn't, I've read a lot and I don't want to even talk about it. Annex Poland in 10/6/39. So about 36 days later. Didn't take long. And I guess they consolidated their gains. Ruskies attacked from the east, and then they split it. And they attacked the lowlands, Belgium, Netherlands, France. That was after France and England declared war. After Schicklgruber attacked Poland, he thought that he would be able to get away with it because he thought the West was weak. It sounds like somebody else we know, doesn't it? And when we did, when they declared war, Western Europe, France and England, he was shocked and mad, and he was pissed because he really didn't count on them jumping into the fray quite yet. He figured he could do a few more encroachments and a few more nibbles and bites before they finally, said we've had enough of that. And get the Soviet Union on his side and gobble up countries here and there. So that's how that happened. Now the Blitzkrieg now, and it's really dumb. I mean, everybody says Putin is smart. He's such a cagey character. He's not that smart. I mean, I would not do it like he's doing it. And since he's not going to listen to this diatribe, I'll tell you what I would do if I was him. Or what I would have done. It's too late now, so it doesn't matter. He should have waited for Petri dish to finish mucking up Afghanistan, and he should have immediately ingratiated himself with the Taliban and said he would support them in every way possible. And then slowly but surely he would get his own type of leader in there that was going to be more amenable to basically the army marching through toward the warm water port that they always wanted and they could have gotten because then all they have to do is win over Pakistan. Oh, that'd be real hard. That'd be really hard to get a pro-Russian leader in Pakistan. Take about 10 minutes. And they got Karachi as a warm water port. That's what they always wanted, but no. I'd rather go after this desolate wasteland. I like desolate wastelands. I'm going to go for that. And then I'm going to put together the Soviet Union like it used to be. It's like you should have built back better. But that's just my advice. You won't listen to me, so I'm not afraid of treason or anything for aiding and abetting the enemy. He's not that bright. So I wanted to tie this Blitzkrieg in with Tucumcari, Arizona, because that's where I guess the trucks are. So they're making good time. They're going to be there in time for Petrie's speech. And I wanted to get into this more. So I looked it up. And right there on the Google front page, where they say frequently asked questions, one of the first questions is, how many trucks are in the pro-Trump convoy? That's the question. It's on a major front page of a major platform that it's a pro-Trump convoy. And I haven't heard any evidence of that. And it's probably true that most of the people participating probably don't vote D. But it doesn't mean a pro-Trump convoy. We're all driving because we're pro-Trump. See how the misinformation and the propaganda, and they're getting people all set to say this whole thing is a Trump rally gone awry. Because even if it's only 1,000 trucks, that's going to be bad enough. And they're going to gain steam as they go across the deplorable section of the United States. And I'm wondering what their main thesis is. So I went on their website, and they just want to not be bossed around anymore. They're just tired of the mandates. They're tired of government overreach in general. So COVID is not a problem right now because we got bigger problems. So we put that aside. We don't worry about COVID because that can come back later in the cycle of disaster. But speaking of deplorable, I saw something deplorable. And I really am tired of certain people. The succubus who thinks she's going to come and save the day out of the blue. Petri dish is going to graciously bow out of the race, and the succubus is ready to take over and solve everything. And she basically blamed Orange Man and said that if Orange had been president right now, that NATO would not be as united as they are against this former Soviet Union. And that may be true, but they wouldn't be doing what they're doing in the former Soviet Union if Orange was still in office, and everybody knows it. And a good reporter would say, if you're going to lay blame on someone for all this, maybe you should blame you and your husband, because you were the ones that urged the Ukraine to denuclearize. And they did. And they did it under the stipulation that the U.S. used to be A, would come to their aid if there was any trouble, if they give up their nukes. And now you see what happens. The treachery of the U.S. government knows no bounds and knows no depth. It can't reach bottom. Treacherous, betrayers, and liars, all of them. And I saw Ned Price dancing around, talking about how sanctions are going to alleviate everything, but they won't take place for another month, which means smoldering pits for another month. All options are open, he said, And when he says all options, he means all. And I can think of a lot of options. If you want to talk about all options, well, mutually assured destruction is one option. The end of life as we know it is another option. So here's some extreme ones. Another option is the Russian army just decides they're just sick of this and they just put down their guns and go and shake hands with the opposition and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. I'm going to go overthrow my leader right now. So many options are possible. But Ned Price is annoying, and I think he dressed for the occasion. He looked like he hadn't gotten any sleep. His hair was all messed up, his tie was scraggly, and he's unshaven, and I gotta look like I've been up all night because this is a big problem, and people aren't gonna want me to look all fresh. They want me to look like I've been not getting any sleep working on this crisis. Yeah, none of those guys are favorites of mine. But the succubus really made me mad, blaming Orange Man for all this. And if it comes to the point, and I know there won't be an election in 2024, but if it comes to the point where there actually is one, and the succubus is anointed, then I will probably move to Nepal or Tibet and flagellate myself every day just for not solving everything, for allowing these things to happen, because my microcosm is a macrocosm. I mean, my microcosm of my life is part of the universe. It's a reflection. It's happening. I got to sanction my own kid. And I know if I sanction him, I sanction myself. And we got all kinds of Sturm und Drang in the microcosm. And I'm trying to keep up about it, keep optimistic, because these are small little problems compared to people getting rained on with bombs and shot at. And it's back to World War II style war where civilians are running around like crazy because there's no rules like in the old days. We're only going to do it out in the desert. We'll only blow up these guys in this command and control center. We want to keep civilian casualties down. Well, those days are over. And I figured that the madman that's causing all this has reached the point where he's got no choice but to keep going. So I'm seeing Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania being under siege, and I see bad things. Anybody with half a brain would know. We go back to World War II tactics, and I said it's 1939, and it's happening exactly, almost exactly like it did. It's ridiculous people can't see it. So I'll leave it at that. I'm going to kind of parallel the truckers with the conflagration starting and see how they all come to a head together. So the cliffhanger continues. Just serial. But I will leave it at that. I might have more to say next time. I just wanted to get this in before I go to work. And have a good afternoon. Enjoy the chaos and catastrophe and disaster and cataclysm.